Hello,
Oh,
nerds and
there we
nerds.
go.
Yeah, should be on. Should be
We're
good.
on. We're
Things are
going.
happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's going.
it's going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome,
It's
welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Sphered Buckle 77. Welcome, Sacrum Salma. Welcome, the Dead Liver. Um,
Welcome, welcome.
so, what I'm seeing is Sphered Buckle 77 was the first in chat saying X to doubt. Good job.
Actually,
Um,
that is untrue.
it's untrue.
Yes.
Oh, who was
I
the
see
first?
I'm here from Sacrum Soma, then an X to doubt from Sphere Buckle 77.
Oh, I missed that. Interesting.
You know what? How about we do an 8-2 split on the nickel?
Yeah, you know what? We'll do that.
So we can give 2 to Sphere Buckle. We'll
Yeah.
give 8 to Sacrum Soma, just because, get a little
Hmm.
discrepancy. We don't want to. How about you get a penny? You know what?
Hmm.
2 Darwin nickels equals a penny.
Do they?
Perfect. Perfect conversion rate.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the dead liver gets 8 of Sacrum Salma's Darwin nickels, and Sphered Buckle 77 gets a penny. That
Very
sounds good.
wonderful.
You
And
know,
that penny does happen to be shiny.
no, Sacrum Salma, you don't have 22.5 pennies. The conversion for you is 1 Darwin nickel is a millionth of a dollar, I think. Does that sound about right?
For Sacrum Soma, I'm putting it at about like 1 Darwin nickel to be 1 Zimbabwean dollar.
Okay, yeah,
Gonna
that's
do
pretty
a
good.
perfect conversion.
That's pretty good conversion rate right there.
Yeah, isn't it 1 trillion, 10 trillion Zimbabwean to 1 US?
Um, I'd have to look it up.
Chat. Chat, double check us on this one.
Yeah.
Chat would know better. They're the ones who are,
Yes, the dead
adept
liver.
method.
You know what? I think everyone should donate their Darwin nickels to the dead liver so that he can be the living liver.
It is 0.002 USD. That's close enough.
That is pretty useful, you know.
That's 1/5 of a penny.
I mean, think about it. 1 Darwin nickel gets you one square of wallpaper.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you live in Zimbabwe, you
Yeah,
know,
I
then
don't think you
it's
get much wallpaper in Zimbabwe.
yeah, then it's a bit more useful,
Yeah, I
marginally.
mean, as a Zimbabwean myself,
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't really needed any.
interesting. So you're African American.
No, no, I'm just a guy
I
from
have
Zimbabwe.
I have heard so many people make that joke, like, oh,
Hmm.
they're white, but they're from Africa, so they're African American. And I
Yeah,
mean,
it's like Elon Musk. Haha.
yeah, yeah, mostly people from South Africa.
Yeah. God,
Like,
did you meet Mugabe? You know, you never know, chat. You never know my connections. The
yeah, yeah.
connections.
Is that who's
They're
on
very.
this beautiful picture that we were requested to put up?
Oh yeah, we were requested to put this picture by a fan of the stream. Thank you, Dr. Celery, for this
Yes.
epic picture.
You
As
know,
they say, el podcast de Renikev es muy épico.
yeah. And you know, I think as a reward for this beautiful suggestion, they should get 1 Darwin nickel. What do you think?
1,000 Darwin nickels.
Ooh, you know,
So,
that's pretty good.
Dr. Celery, if you're here or you're not, 1,000.
You get 1,000 Darwin nickels, yeah.
Yeah, and chat says, pues dile al amor que no toque mi puerta, que yo no estoy en casa, que no vuelva a mañana. An epic song by Aventura.
Mm.
Beautiful quote there, chat.
Oh, these guys are. You know, that explains why at the bottom it says the quote is by Aventura. That explains a lot.
It explains a lot.
Yeah.
Was he in France? Maybe.
Was he in
Paris?
Paris?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
You
You know,
never know
it's
these
really
days.
hard to trace his movements.
Yeah. Paris? Very illusory. Very
You
illusory.
know,
Seemingly, at
some
least.
say as much as the country itself.
France is just a pile of shit, dung heap in the ocean. The sea between Spain and Germany, that's just a dung heap.
Is that where they dump all their refuse, Spain and Germany?
No, it just already had refuse when they discovered it.
Wow, that's interesting. Where did it come from?
Caesar, the biggest pile of refuse of them all.
Fair enough.
Chat says true, true. Thank you,
Yeah.
chat. We knew we were right. We're always right.
Always. I
Isn't it?
refuse to acknowledge evidence to the contrary.
Exactly. Which makes us always right.
Yeah,
Because I'm Kev, and Kev is right.
you know, pretty much.
Pretty much, right? I mean, Kev.
Kev,
That's
Kev.
what I. Yeah, what do you think, chat? Do you think Kev? So, what have you prepared me, this chapter-wise?
So this is a nice little chapter, I think, where John Marsh he has a nice I'm just gonna start saying the same thing over again. He is going to do an interview, I think.
Oh, wow. How exciting.
Yeah.
One day I'd love to interview John Marsh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ask him what happened. Where were you dropped?
Well, does he really know himself?
That's true. Doesn't he know anything?
He must
Definite no.
know. He must know something, considering he knows that there are note cards in his pocket.
That's true. That's true.
Also, that he's wearing a very stylish coat.
True. I mean, he is kind of the local idiot.
He is.
But I digress.
Yeah.
What game will you be playing this fine evening?
Right. Well, it was much talked about. I feel I would be remiss if I didn't. If I didn't,
At least once play it.
yeah, there's a lot of hype around it.
Hype.
So,
I think
well,
it's the word of the evening.
yeah. And so, viewers at home, or wherever you may happen to be, I don't know. Maybe you.
At home, at George House. This also got to plug our sponsor. This
Oh, yeah.
is brought to you by George House Orange Chicken.
It is,
We're
in
having
fact.
a deal. You can
Oh, there you
buy
go.
one. Yeah, he's on the toilet.
There you
Buckle's
go.
on the toilet.
Oh,
You
no.
can buy
Oh, there we go.
one
Goodness.
piece of orange chicken. One
You can.
piece, 10% off.
Yeah. You can
The rest of the meal is
probably hear
full
it,
price.
but yeah. So the game
He's
we're
on the-
playing is Skyrim. Well, I am playing. Kenyon is not the biggest fan, it turns out.
I mean, that was a little bit of a trial and error, figuring that out.
Yeah, a little bit. I've got this woman following me. She's a vampire.
To avoid these types of
She usually just gets in the way of my fireballs.
Very wizardly of you.
Very wizardly, yes. I'm just
Now-
gonna turn off the music because I do not tend to enjoy music while games. I play my own music. Whoa, Jesus, that was a bit of a lag spike.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But
Oh, there's Nernroot down there.
are we ready to start? Are we good, chat? Is everything
Yeah.
okay? Am I
Yeah.
lagging? Is Bren lagging? We having a good stream?
Just to
Is
put
everything falling apart yet?
That's a good question. Exactly what I said.
Chat's is good enough.
I've only hit her. Okay, well, fine. Have it your way. So I think we're ready to start. Am I right? Can you see it fine?
I think we're in the mood. I mean, I can see it. Chat says good enough.
Good enough is good enough, right?
Good enough. I mean, I think it's good enough. If it
Hello?
works, it's good enough. Well, chat, let me begin. Chapter 15. There is usually something very comforting about waking up when it's dark outside. When I'm warm in bed, I can sit and think for hours without anything to distract me. Except for the alarm clock, I guess. That's all it's ticking. On the other hand, the ticking does help me fall asleep. It's a trade-off, I suppose. I did much the same in the following morning. Woke as a chill breeze blew through the door flap of Fritz's hut. Yet something didn't feel quite right. Tried to think about the case, what would be for breakfast, anything like that. But I couldn't shake some strange feeling. The last time I had felt anything similar to this, and at a similar hour, was when I had realized I had been placed in the wrong bedroom by the IRS. That couldn't have been the case this time, could it? How would the IRS even have found me? I popped all of their tires. I suppose it must be pretty easy to convince people to join the dark side in exchange for lower taxes. Yet, as the sun slowly rose and illuminated the area, I was more and more sure that I couldn't have been it. So what could have been it? It was only now as I scanned the hut that I finally noticed Fritz sat on a chair off to my right. He was sat upright, attentive. Wrapped up as he was, I could barely tell that he was breathing. Yet I knew that under those sunglasses he was staring right at me. He seemed like a cloth-wrapped statue. How long had he been like that? I hadn't heard him come in. What are you doing? I asked him, mostly out of puzzlement. If he hadn't been an undercover IRS agent sent to lure me and kill me, he would have done so while I was sleeping. He shook his head and suddenly became much more animated. I thought it might do to learn more about you, John. I find that the way a person sleeps can tell you a lot about them.
I am waiting.
Huh?
If you are
I
not
said.
here to grant me a
I couldn't
good
understand
death,
where he was
then
coming
you can
from.
leave.
There's something totally entrancing about the way Hess's tongue wiggles in and out of his
My
mouth
time.
when he falls asleep.
Malacath has given me a vision. As you can
Is there
see,
anything
it
for
is not
breakfast?
yet
I
arrived.
asked. Nothing but toast, a bit of ant and cheese pastry the day before left me a little hungry.
You should
Fritz
leave.
said, I
Don't
usually
want
go to
you
the
scaring
diner.
off a good death.
Oh, could we stop for breakfast
If
then?
you are not
I'm
here to
starving.
grant me a
That
good
isn't a good
death,
idea.
then you can
Why
leave.
not? In recent times, the police have realized that the diner is a place I frequent.
To cling to
In fact,
something
they almost
past
caught me a
usefulness.
few weeks back.
You should leave.
I was
I don't want you
fortunate
scaring
that
off
some mysterious benefactor left his bike outside that night, that I might make my getaway. I lost my old one, you see. It's a much better bike than my old one, too. Really changed the way I imagine people I've never met. I nodded. I've been noticing that too, actually. First there was, well, her, then Hank, now you. I've been having great luck with strangers. Fritz laughed. Chat says, good death.
Yes. I met an orc who wanted me to kill him, but I hesitated, and the moment slipped away. I could have done it.
Coulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yes. Yes, I suppose so. Well, I'll see what I have for you in my larder, but perhaps it might be prudent to skip breakfast and see if this Brian would be willing to share a meal. Fritz then got up from his chair and ran out of the hut. A moment later, I could hear him rifling through a pile of something through the walls. I decided that, in the meantime, I should probably go get ready for the day. It took a moment to realize, but I realized quickly that there wasn't much to do in the way of that. I had no toothbrush. Even if I did, it didn't seem like Fritz's home had any running water. No shower either in that case. Change.
Oh, Kenyon.
I suppose I could have changed some of Fritz's clothes. He had a whole pile of them sitting in the corner of the hut. It smelled kind of funny though, so I decided to stick with what I had. All I really could do was a little morning stretch, maybe try to style my hair a bit with my hands. After a little while, I decided that, as strange as it felt, it was time to start the day. When I exited the hut, I saw Fritz standing over the gas burner, handling a small saucepan. He must have heard me come out because he turned his head towards me and said, I found some oats and raisins in the larder. Do you find oatmeal acceptable? I would. Almost anything sounds good to me right now, though. I walked to the other side of the stove and sat down on a log. There was a silence between us as he stirred. I tried to focus on the rustling of the trees in the wind. Instead of my hunger, it was difficult to ignore the smell of the oatmeal. Eventually, I half remembered something my mother had told me long ago.
The secrets. I
This isn't the stuff that turns you Irish, right? No, that's porridge, Fritz responded. Oh, that's right. After another period of silence, Fritz asked, so what exactly is the plan? Plan? We're going to meet with this Brian fellow. What's next? I can bring some rope if we're going to tie him up, but you'll have to be the one to knock him out. I had to think about that for a moment. Why would we tie him up? To question him, of course. How would we get the information we need otherwise? Well, as a police detective, I find it easy to get people to open up just by talking to them. I think I think they find me a calming influence. Perhaps that's where I've gone wrong before. There was a moment of silence as Frit lost himself in thought. At least, I think that's what happened. He nearly let the oatmeal burn, but I pulled it away just in time. By the time I had put it in bowls and started eating, he asked, then what was the question you asked? I shrugged. As a police detective, I was told to always have a plan. That's pretty good, actually. I was in the running for a promotion. This isn't the police station, this is the real world. I've had a lot more luck on the Shulman case than I ever did with the police, and I've never planned ahead. That's why I promoted myself to master detective, instead of waiting for the police to do it. For the second time since I had met him, Fritz looked at me as what I could describe as awe. Then I will defer to your methods, Master Detective, he said. For the rest of our meal, we ate in silence. The oatmeal was pretty good. I felt much better after we finished our breakfast. To have a solid meal after the past few days. We took the dirtied bowls to a nearby creek to let them soak, and then jumped into the car and drove what we thought might be Brian's address. I asked Fritz if he wanted to leave the bike at this place, but he declined.
Sorry.
He said it would be more useful to have it nearby in case he needed to make a getaway. The
Whoa.
Scribbles of a Madman is a quest, by the way. Chat wanted to let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I figured it was a quest, I just didn't want to do any reading right now.
That's very fair. Well,
You're cutting out intermittently, but I don't know if it's to do with the game. Because the game is also lagging.
You are about, like, a 5-second delay from when I speak. Your responses.
Oh, that's nice. Wait.
It's made conversing a little awkward, but...
Yeah, it sounds like the same thing's happening on my end.
That's okay.
Should I just... I don't know, should I do a different game, maybe?
Whatever works. I mean, I can just, keep on reading, keep on delivering my message.
You can, yeah. Ooh, 96. I'm really close to 100 destruction.
That sounds horrifying. But
what do you mean? I'm gonna get 100 destruction?
Chat, I'd be worried if you get the 100 destruction. Try and stop him if you can.
Well, don't try to stop me because I'm already near 100 destruction. I will destructify you.
That's true. I think I'm gonna start back up the reading though.
Yeah.
So let me know if it's awful.
Mm-hmm. Well, probably not awful, but...
Chat says go even further. And get 100 illusion.
I would. Maybe I should do a different character who's an illusion mage.
That'd be pretty funny. Maybe name him Bareth Metal.
Maybe. It's the kind of thing, though, like Skyrim, it doesn't feel like it really supports all those different kinds of playstyles, you know? I don't think illusion is much more than a buff kind of mage, you know?
Yeah, kind of gimmicky.
Where? Oh, is it this guy?
Well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move back to Marsh.
Yeah.
I felt much better after we'd finished our breakfast. To have a solid meal after the past few days. We took our dirty bowls to a nearby creek to let them soak and jumped in the car to drive to what we had thought might have been Brian's address. I asked Fritz if he wanted to leave the bike at his place, but he declined. He said that it would be much more useful to have nearby if he needed to make a getaway. The drive to the next town over was short and uneventful. After fiddling around for a bit, I realized that the car's radio could play news stations. In spite of Fritz's protest that it was a government disinformation, I tuned into the clearest one for the trip. It had been a while since I'd listened to the news. The highs and lows of the day would be 34 and 25 degrees. It would be alternatively sunny and overcast. It was reported that several in a group of conservationists had been crushed to death by trees while protesting the cutting of the region's local woodland. That the police department had issued a missing person notice on a man named John, I think it was.
No, Josh.
There was also a report on something interesting for a change. The local-born celebrity had finally reached a net worth over $1 billion. I never much cared for her, but that was simply quite an achievement. The address led us to the middle of a relatively dense neighborhood, just a few blocks from the train station. I thought about parking in his driveway, but it occurred to me that might be a bit impolite. We pulled over on the side of the road and got out of the car. "So this is the place," said Fritz. "It doesn't quite fit with my image of musical. Mr. Jenkins did say that he was an ambassador. Maybe he needs to blend in with the normal people," I suggested. "Very well could be." As we walked up the path to the front door, I remembered something else that Mr. Jenkins had told me. "By the way, I was told that this guy is a bit weird." "That's so. Yeah, and just
Wait.
thought I would let you know."
Oh no! I didn't even notice that.
Oh no.
I have Sanguinare Vampiris.
Oh no.
Okay, I got rid of it. Whew.
Good. That was almost really bad.
Could have been, yeah.
Rather no fun.
Yeah. I think that...
Yeah, chat says you have vampirism.
Yeah, I figured that much out, but thank you for the help.
Thanks, chat.
I drank a cure-all potion, so...
Well, now that you're all good, you know, you can move along.
Yeah.
Very well
Oh
could
wait,
be.
did I
Murmuring
show
Fritz.
off? Did I show off my amazing character?
Oh, you doing something? Want to show off the character?
Yeah. He looks very
You gotta show
cool,
off the character.
doesn't he?
He had Sanguinaris Vampirum chat. Oh, that's cursed.
Wait, what happens if I remove the helmet?
cursed.
What happens if I remove the helmet? Oh, that's right.
Probably nothing good. Is that Barrett? Chat asked. Why does he look constipated? Chat's curious if he's constipated.
Well, considering I haven't seen him use the bathroom even
Oh, God.
once for 33 levels, that's a very good possibility.
Chat wants him to put the helmet back on.
Will do.
Half bald. Chat's mocking the hairdo.
Yeah, well, they should.
That is true.
I mean, I do, it's a point of pride, really. I try to make my characters look as horrifying as I can. Whoa, a bit of lag. You still there, Kenyon? Kenyon? I think we lost
Oh,
him.
you're lagging really bad. No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
You're cutting.
Yeah,
you're cutting out
I
really
didn't
bad.
hear you for a minute. Okay.
I wasn't saying anything just because you were going like ah, ooh, ah.
Yeah, that would be a reason, I guess. Well, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's good. Chat says uh-oh.
Wow.
Chat says I love Kev. I love Kev too.
Yeah, he's a pretty
Whoever
swell
that is.
guy.
So to continue with the story, if I
Yeah.
may,
Yes.
instead of being pestered by chat about how much they love Cap.
Yeah.
Very well could be, murmured Fritz. As we walked up the path to the front door, I remembered something else Mr. Jenkins told me. By the way, this guy was a little bit weird. So, yeah, I just thought I would let you know. Were you told in what way? I pondered for a moment.
Wait, that mud crab was named.
No? Well, then it doesn't surprise me, Fritz said as he knocked the door. We waited for a few minutes. There was no answer. Fritz tried knocking again. There was still no answer. Let me try something, I said. Fritz stood aside. I had noticed a small rectangle of plastic on the right side of the door. I pressed it, and I heard the doorbell ring. I found it a shame that Fritz wasn't as perceptive as I am. On the other hand, I decided that it was fortunate at least one of us was. A few minutes later, we heard footsteps from behind the door, then swung open, revealing a fairly average man with curly black hair. He immediately scrutinized Fritz, sighed, and said, "Look, if you're here with those women who tried to sell me scarves, I tell you what, I told them I don't need them anymore." Fritz and I looked at each other. "I think I know what he means," I heard Fritz whisper. "What are you doing?" the man asked. "If you're here to sell something, I'll hear your pitch. Unless you're selling God himself, I can say right now that I'm not interested." For a moment of silence, I cleared my throat. "I don't know what that was about." I stretched my hand and continued. "I'm Master Detective John Marsh of the Marsh Detective Agency." The man looked at my hand, seemingly a bit surprised, then grasped it and shook. "I'm Brian Jacobson. What can I do for you?" "Is there a small chance we could come inside? I have some questions regarding someone you may know." "Marissa Schulman?" Brian stared at me for a moment, then warily nodded. "Yeah, I guess so. Come in." He backed away from the door and pointed into the room. "Take a seat on the sofa over there." I nodded. "Thank you." I walked and took a seat. Fritz followed, though seemed a bit hesitant to sit down. Brian closed the door and sat across for the two of us. "I'm sorry about that," he said. "I've just been getting a lot of those door-to-door salesmen recently." "Yeah, they do that," I replied. "Have you gotten ones offering to test your thetan levels yet? They seemed nice at first, but then they just went on about how I am impure and had to buy their book if I wanted to be saved from reckoning. I can't say I have." "Say, did you want me to ask some questions then?" "Oh, yes. What?" "Why did you kill Marissa Schulman?" Fritz suddenly screamed out. Brian looked at him. "I beg your pardon?" I whispered to Fritz. "I don't think that he killed Marissa Schulman." "Then why are we questioning him? Maybe he knows who did. Or someone who can lead us to who knows." Fritz finally nodded. Right. Continue then." I cleared my throat and began again. "What was your relationship with Marissa Schulman?" Brian thought for a moment, as he would do for all the questions I asked. "We were dating for a while, that's all it." "Do you know who killed her?" "I didn't even know she was dead. I had heard that over the news that she had disappeared, but..." Paused. "What?" "Well, probably isn't relevant, but she did have some strange friends. Some of them were more enemies than friends, I guess. New information for a change." Hastily, I scribbled this down on a note card. "Strange how?" asked Fritz. "Maybe he could put up the detective's trade after all." I never really talked to them all that much, but, well, they were kind of hippie-ish, I guess. They were all big on that communal living. They all were very spiritual about the strangest things. "Weren't any of them obsessive about music, Brian?" asked Fritz. "I think so, yeah." I saw Fritz glance over at me excitedly, but as I looked down at the notes, something didn't quite add up. "You were very vague about this, but you were told that you were an ambassador of sorts between the guidesmen," I said, but Brian waved the question. "Oh no, Missy was ambassadorial type. I don't want to get too involved in her weird stuff anyway. That's why I heard of why we broke up." "Missy?" "Marissa. So she had a nickname. Do you at least know anything about the council of some sort?" "Not the town council, I gather?" "No, council of guidesmen, I think." "Well, if I think about it, I believe I did pick a thing or two about it." I pulled out a fresh index card. "Such as?" "I heard that they meet every full moon. Someone mentioned the state capitol. There were a lot of drinks, and they weren't even talking to me. They were talking to Marissa, and she happened to bring me along." When I had finished writing everything down, I looked directly into Brian's eyes. "I know I can be a very intimidating person. It's one of the central pillars of Krav Maga, you know. And I thought that as the questions seemed to be wrapping up, I might ensure we had gotten the full truth. Is that everything you know? Is there anything you might want to tell us besides that? I asked in the deepest voice I could summon.
Is there anything you can know? Is there anything you might want to tell us?
Just had to make it more realistic.
Yeah.
Just about. I'm sorry if I haven't been very helpful. I
Or,
looked at Fritz and asked,
there are
Is
werebears
that
in
all
this
we-
game. What?
"Werebears?"
That feels dangerous. Wait, it doesn't get stunned by my attacks.
Oh Jesus!
I'm gonna run
Chat
away.
says don't. Chat says run.
I'm running.
Chat says run.
I'm running.
Chat says run.
See. Oh Jesus Christ! They're
Chat advised-
following me. They're following me.
Chat says rest in peace.
Do they just not get? Do they just not get stunned?
Yeah, chat, why are they so deadly?
Okay, I killed one.
Chat says I was almost level 72 and I got pummeled by only one. Oh, you just killed one.
I killed it. I killed it. I killed it.
Yeah, chat says they just do a lot of damage, so be careful.
Hello. What seems to be the matter? Wait, they just glide. They glide.
Look out for the
Jesus.
lunge attack, so be careful.
Jesus. Yeah,
Chat's advice has been good so far.
I can tell.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah, that was kind of expected.
yeah, I was doomed, I guess. After I killed the first one, I should have just teleported away.
It just one hit you. Holy shit, says chat.
Yeah,
Chat, you're right. It's pretty brutal.
that's
Pretty fucking brutal.
remove it. Wow, this is. Wow, the island. Solstheim is small.
Yeah,
Let's go back to
that's
Raven.
pretty damn small.
Yeah. Let's go back to Raven Rock and I don't know, just do something. Whoa, ow, ah.
Chat says you got one deeged.
I did. I don't know what that means, but I'll say yes.
You got one shot. Pretty badly.
Yes. Wait, what? Wait a minute. What is this? What is this marker?
It's trauma.
No, what is this marker? Oh, you can't see what I see.
Oh no.
What is this marker? I've never seen this marker before. Wow, I'm still discovering new things. That doesn't...
There's always more to do in Skyrim. There's not.
I figured that must be something, but I didn't know what. Okay, jeez. Wait, what? How are you still alive? Oh.
Oh, chat was asking, so what is Marsh's next plan? And chat says it's return to Skyrim. Chat, Marsh is going back to Skyrim.
No, Marcos just, Steam DM'd me and said that marker is to return to Skyrim.
Ah. Okay. Good job, chat. Good job.
Thank you, chat.
Marsh is in Skyrim.
He is, it turns out. He's a pretty
Alright.
cool guy.
Well, we're on the home stretch of the chapter, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get this one done.
Yeah.
Put this one in the bag. Is that everything you know?
Is that everything you know? Is there anything else you want to tell us?
I asked in the deepest voice I could summon. Just about. I'm sorry if I haven't been very helpful. I looked at Fritz and asked, "Is that all we needed?" I think so. I stood up and outstretched my hand to Brian once again. Thank you for being accommodating. He shook it, saying, I'm only glad you weren't trying to sell me something. It's been a nice change of pace. He walked over to the front door and opened it for us. If you ever want to talk again, just call ahead of time. I nodded and said, thank you for the offer. Fritz said nothing. Brian closed the door and we both walked outside. Mr. Jenkins lied to us, I said. What do you mean? Asked Fritz. He was quite the oddball. I shook my head. Absolutely. Who talks to the guests about door-to-star salesmen? What I meant is that Mr. Jenkins told me that Brian was an ambassador. Brian says he was no way part of it, and Shulman was the real ambassador. I stopped to think for a moment while Fritz kept walking to the car. Even so, this hadn't been a useless adventure. He knew that Shulman had enemies. It wouldn't have been a surprise to me if she had been referring to the IRS. What was left to do was take this to the council. To the council. Certainly someone there might be able to help. I was thinking I heard Fritz yell out, John!
I know it isn't the best place to start, but we... Besides,
You may want to see this. I came running to where he was, standing on the telephone pole in front of Brian's house. What's the problem? I asked. Fritz handed me a piece of paper and said, I found this stapled right here. I reached over the paper. At the top, in big bold letters, said, have you seen this man? Just below that was a picture of a man in an orange jumpsuit, seemingly unconscious. At first, I didn't recognize who it could be. At Fritz's behest, I scrutinized the image more carefully, and I could barely believe it. The IRS, those bastards, they had done it again. I was the man on the poster.
This is strange.
And that's
The
where
note says it's from General
chapter
Ford,
15
Captain
ends.
There's no way he
Yeah.
can still be alive. If General Carey.
So, what did you think?
Head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm gonna head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults. Be careful.
Hello?
I
Hello?
just finished up. Did you hear? Hello?
I heard you finish
Right.
up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
I can
okay.
hear you.
I asked, so what did you think?
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay.
Chat also asks, is Marsh a Dragonborn? And the answer is yes.
Is he a Dragonborn? Good question. Probably not, but that's my first guess. So yeah. Now it's official, right? The IRS is after him. Well,
Yeah,
the
they're
FBI,
going for him.
but the IRS, right?
No, the IRS.
Yeah.
The IRS is after him. Crazy stuff, folks. Crazy stuff. And I think I know exactly where I'm going to take this one.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
That's good to hear.
I think I have a good plan. Chat, is there any questions you have? Anything you want to say?
Oh, hello.
I'm excited to see if they have any commentary, any color commentary.
Definitely, yeah.
Chat says, is he about to be interviewed by the IRS? And then chat says, zombies? You never know, chat, you never know.
Yeah, you know, you think
Marsh.
you think one thing's gonna happen, but no, it's zombies.
Yeah, you never know about those zombies.
They come out of the woodwork. Stupid Reaver, that's what they're called. Not
They really do.
bandits.
Becomes a double whammy for the murder mystery. You never know. Chat, you never know what's gonna happen next.
You never know. You know, maybe.
Is there any other?
Huh?
You go.
I was gonna say. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Awesome.
Just gonna ask, is there any other color commentary you want to give
I think that
before we sign off?
John Marsh being hungry is a big motivator for him.
I think we found Hungary.
We found Hungary. Yeah. That's good. That's good. You know, we need it. We need more Hungary.
We need more hungry in our lives.
We really did.
We always.
Oh no.
We always need more hungry. And I hope Dr. Salary gets to know that he got over 10 million.
That's true. You can't get it?
Hello,
Hello?
friend.
Okay. I think Skyrim just does not agree with this.
Yeah, Skyrim was just fighting you there,
It really was the whole time.
but now we are all wrapped up, and thank you all for watching. Thanks for everybody in chat. Thanks for everybody listening.
Yes, thank you all for coming to listen to John Marsh book.
John Marsh book. And we're coming to a close, so stay
Yeah,
on your toes. The book will end at any moment.
yeah, all the twists and turns. You know, maybe there won't be any more. It'll just be a straight line. Who knows?
Maybe. You never know. Chat gave us a little heart and said thank you. No, chat, thank you. And thank Aventura. And thank Dr.
Oh, yes.
Celery.
It wasn't possible without Dr. Celery, you know.
You're saying he just dies mid-book?
Well, end of
never know.
book, but you know.
Yeah. Well, chat, thank you all so much, and it was great to see
Yes.
you all come out tonight. Have a great one.
Have a good end of the day. It's already ended, but you know.